Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis is now trying to cut LGBT subject matter from an advanced placement psychology class that is taught in Florida as an optional class. And the College Board, good for them, is saying no. The bigger story here, well, there's really two stories here. There's three stories. There's 12. No, there's three as far as I can tell. One is the subject matter in the curriculum of this advanced placement psychology class, which we'll talk about in a moment. The second part of it is the continued, quote, anti-woke war that Ron DeSantis is fighting in the state of Florida. And thirdly is that this is yet another example of how right-wingers claim to have a particular value, but then as soon as that value is inconvenient, they abandon it. And I will tell you about that in a moment, and it has everything to do with this subject matter being in a psychology class, which based on their previous statements is something you would think they would be okay with. So let's go to the beginning. What is going on? USA Today reports Ron DeSantis wants to scrub AP classes of LGBTQ subjects. The College Board isn't having it. And it says another showdown over advanced placement courses could be brewing in Florida, this time over AP psychology, as the nonprofit that runs the program, the College Board, faces pressure from state officials to remove or revise lessons on sexual orientation and gender identity. The conflict is another example of how DeSantis' push to restrict how race and LGBTQ issues are taught is impacting Florida schools. Florida's Department of Education sent a letter to the College Board asking them to review all AP courses to see if they need modification to ensure compliance with a Florida law that targets instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity. The message is clear. Remove that stuff. The College Board responded with a defiant letter late last week saying, we will not modify our courses to accommodate restrictions teaching essential college level topics. This could be a showdown, and this class could become a source of conflict. The Hill also reporting College Board says it won't alter AP courses to comply with Florida laws. They put out a letter saying that this is not something that they are going to do, adding, doing so would break the fundamental promise of advanced placement. Colleges wouldn't broadly accept the course for credit, and that course wouldn't prepare students for careers in the discipline. So let's talk about what it is that is going on here. First of all, this is, as usual, the way that the anti-woke Florida people want to frame these stories are, this is extremely inappropriate stuff being taught to kids. The reality, of course, is that this is an advanced placement class. It's overwhelmingly high school seniors and some high school juniors, occasionally a sophomore if they're a real go-getter, you know what I mean? But it's overwhelmingly seniors and juniors who are either this year or next year going to be adults. It is an optional class. Relatively few people take advanced placement classes. I'm not saying the raw number is low, but relatively few people take these classes. When I took AP economics in high school, that was the one AP class I took, it was 12 students out of 900 or something like that. And that was it. So nothing is being pushed on anybody. These are almost legal adults. And most importantly, and this is the point the College Board is making, AP level classes are equivalent to college classes. You sometimes get credit. I was able to skip right to intro to macroeconomics with Richard Wolff, by the way, at the University of Massachusetts, my first semester, because I got credit for AP micro from high school. So if you arbitrarily say we're going to change around what's in this class, the class is designed to be a college equivalency class. In college, in psychology class, LGBTQ issues are part of the subject matter. If you arbitrarily remove that from the AP high school class, you endanger that class actually being a college equivalency class. So it is undeniably. Now, let me get now to this next issue. So first and foremost, doesn't make any sense to remove it. Makes perfect sense to have this content there. If you are a right winger, now this is an if, okay? We're doing abstract thinking. If you are one of the right wingers who writes to me and says, David, whether it's trans, even if it's gay, all of this stuff is merely mental illness. There's no biological basis for LGBTQ. It's just mental illness. By that standard, a psychology class is the correct place for this subject matter. This is a college equivalent psychology class. I'm not supporting this view, but what I'm saying is if you have the view that LGBTQ issues are merely issues of mental health that should not be taught to, quote, kids, then what better place for them than in a college equivalent psychology class? Another reminder that they don't actually mean the things they say. They love saying these subjects shouldn't be in science class. They shouldn't be in biology class. Well, maybe they should or maybe they shouldn't. It's quite a large amount of scholarship on that. But if they shouldn't, and you believe these are simply mental illnesses, then if not in a college equivalent psychology course, where the hell do you put this subject matter? So there's two different views on what DeSantis is doing here. It's mere pandering to continue this veneer of an anti-woke warrior in Florida who will bring that anti-woke perspective to the Oval Office if he is elected. I don't know that it's just pandering, because this is actual legislation. There is plenty of legislation that DeSantis has actually signed into law. These haven't just been PR battles that go along these lines. The hate legislation in Florida under DeSantis has been going on for a period of time now, that there may be a pandering element to it, but it is much more than mere pandering that we can write off. So that's the latest battle. By the way, I will restate, this doesn't overall, I mean, listen, maybe you get away with this. A lot of people won't even hear about this. A lot of these things, the hardcore anti-woke trans stuff, the abortion restrictions, fighting Disney, there actually doesn't seem to be that much of an appetite for this nationally. And it may end up hurting DeSantis, or at least not helping him catch up to Donald Trump, which is, at the end of the day, what he needs to do right now in the Republican primary. One of our sponsors today is Replace Your Mortgage. Mortgages are a really interesting thing in the United States. The poor often can't afford them, and the rich often don't use them. Instead, the wealthy use special financial tools to pay off their debts, often in a fraction of the time that it takes for a middle-class American to realize that same payoff. Replace Your Mortgage teaches you how you can pay off your home in 5 to 7 years without needing to make more money than you're currently making right now. And in addition, they can teach you how to better utilize your existing assets and equity to begin or continue growing wealth and passive income through additional strategies. And they actually have an upcoming workshop that will show you how you can take advantage of these strategies, how it all works, create your own economy in a sense. You can go to replaceyouruniversity.com/Pacman to watch the interview I did with their founder, Michael Lush, to learn how you can get exclusive access to what can be a life-changing virtual event. The link is in the description.